Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the second episode of Take My Money Mondays. In these episodes, I try to go over games that will be releasing soon and some of the major reasons I'm so excited for them. This week, we're talking all about Assassins Creed Valhalla. It releases on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and Stadia on November 10th, just in time for the next generation of consoles. While it is available at launch for the Xbox Series X and PS5, it is also available on PS4 and Xbox One, so we won't see the true next generation Assassin's Creed probably until next year. I've been a long-time fan of Assassin's Creed. I've played every single one from start to finish. I've got the Platinum Trophy in every single one that doesn't have a multiplayer component because I suck at multiplayer. And I have a bunch of Assassin's Creed merch all over. I'm even wearing my Assassin's Creed 2 shirt that I got working at Rogers Video back in the day. Let's go over some of the reasons I'm so excited to play Assassin's Creed Valhalla when it comes out next month. Alright, let's get into it. One of the first things that I'm really excited for and I want to talk about is the quests and the story of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. While we're getting very close to Altair's timeline, this one promises to have an amazing new story, and the side quests have been completely overhauled, so it's going to be a completely different gameplay experience. No longer are you going to be just speaking to somebody, doing what they say, finding this, finding that. You're going to sync with an area, and you're going to see yellow, blue, and white markers. Larger dots on your map are going to be things with bigger rewards. The yellow markers are going to be for tangible things like gear, which we're going to get into a little bit later, as well as books of knowledge, which let you gain skills and upgrade your powers. White dots are for things like artifacts and collectibles, which there are new things like where you can collect tattoos, as well as things to exchange with vendors. Blue dots are world events. These are the closest things that we have to side quests in Valhalla. And these can be anything from like mini games, they can be quests with NPCs, they can be boss fights. And what sounds really cool about this is that every single one is going to have its full own story. People like to compare things when talking side content to like The Witcher 3, and this sounds like it's going to be the closest to that. Every little bit of thing is going to have its own story. You're not just going to be going and doing something for no reason at all. And that just has me really excited. As somebody that loves playing games for the story, for getting into it, getting lost in the world, that just sounds absolutely amazing. They've also said that the main quest is going to be even richer and deeper than ever before. So I am super excited to dive back into Assassin's Creed. The next thing I want to talk about is abilities and the gameplay mechanics. They're redoing a lot of things in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They're giving you new things like Odin Sight, which replaces using your eagle to pinpoint people on the map. Now it's going to highlight enemies, so that means you have to actually be within range of them to see where they are, making stealth and gameplay a little more challenging and a lot more fun. Enemies have a new stun bar as well as their health bar. So if you counter a lot, then you're going to take out their stun bar more, and once you've got them stunned, you'll be able to perform a really powerful finishing move and take them out. Otherwise, if you just hack and slash and keep fighting at them, you're just going to chip away at their health until you kill them. Another new thing is that you can actually train and level up your horse. Now, I don't know if you're actually going to keep one horse throughout the entire game. They have shown that you can buy different horses at a stable, so I'm guessing that you can get different ones, and hopefully the progression will pass over with them. But you can actually increase things like stamina, you can make them swim faster. Yes, your horse can swim in this game, which is awesome. No longer are you just gonna stop or get kicked off kind of thing. And you can upgrade your horse's health. So again, health, I don't know if the horse can die, or if maybe if the horse takes too much damage, then it's gonna be on cooldown and you can't call it for a little while or something. But again, that's something that adds more depth to the gameplay and it's really exciting. Another one of the new amazing gameplay features is going to be dual wielding in combat. In Valhalla, you're going to be able to dual wield any of your different weapons. This means if you pick up two shields, you can use a shield in your left and your right hand. You can use a sword, you can use a flail, you can mix and match, meaning you can have tons and tons of different possibilities, which means the gameplay is going to keep moving, keep evolving, and you'll be able to find your exact perfect combination. They've also shown that your right hand and your left hand actually have different moves. So even if you equip the same weapon in both your left and your right hand, they will actually do different things based on which hand you're attacking with. And that sounds awesome. Again, combos are going to be such a cool thing. It also looks like they've upped the combat a little bit, so button mashing is not going to be a thing. I'm also hoping it's not going to be like the Arkham style, like just stand there, wait, parry, and then attack again. It does look a lot more involved and a lot more action oriented, so you should be able to keep going and moving at a really good pace. They've also added a new stamina bar for eivor themselves, so you won't be able to spam heavy attacks or anything like you could in the previous game just to break people's shields and do stuff like that. So again, So strategy will be more of a thing in combat, which is awesome. Another thing that they've added is that you have to build up adrenaline to be able to perform any of your special moves. This isn't a brand new thing, a lot of games do it, but again, it just adds another layer to combat that is just going to make everything so much more satisfying. Well, a lot of fans have been asking for it, and guess what? Stealth is coming back to Assassin's Creed. In the past couple games, you could just go in, arrows flying, attack everybody, take everybody out, and you would be able to get through just fine. And again, it sounds like you might be able to do that in this game, but they've also added back a lot of those stealth features that we really liked. You can put on a cloak and a hood at any point so that you can walk around and try and blend in. You can blend in with crowds as you're walking through. You can hire people to distract guards, like the town drunk and stuff like that, and he can come by and make a distraction so you can sneak by. And you can even actually do like little interactions in the world to make it look like you're kneading dough or something, so that if somebody was following you, that they'll hopefully just go by thinking that you're just a regular person just standing there doing your daily tasks. Another amazing quality of life feature that they're adding is when you are taking on a big castle or a big encounter with a lot of enemies, if you're spotted, it doesn't immediately alert every single person. You have a few seconds, you have a few moments that you can actually try and take the person out before they can actually raise the alarm. I don't know if it's going to be like, I know in some of the other ones they had the bonfires they would light, which would let everybody know. So it might be something similar to that, but again, nice to know that it's not going to just immediately break your cover if you get seen, so you can quickly react. It is also confirmed that the Hidden Blade is making a return, that you will be able to instantly assassinate a lot of enemies. Even with bosses, you can drop in, get the jump on them, and take out a big chunk of their health with something like the Hidden Blade. Oh, that's right, it's back. Okay, well, on the topic of things like the Hidden Blade and combat, let's talk about equipment really quickly. Something that I'm really excited for. In the past Assassin's Creed, since they've made them more RPG style, you get tons and tons of loot with different rarities and different things like that. It made it really cool, and it was a lot of fun to collect all that loot, but a lot of the time those gear pieces were basically useless and you weren't going to use them anyway, so you just scrap them and get rid of them, only to keep like the legendary or the really cool stuff. In this one, they're actually making it so that equipment and weapons are all actually going to be unique. So in this one, you're not going to be finding anywhere near as much gear as you did in the previous ones. Each one is going to have its own perks, bonuses, and be unique. So it's going to make it a lot more satisfying finding them and playing around to figure out which ones you like the most. Each gear is going to have its own specific stats and abilities, and some of them will have their own rune slots, which will allow you to add runes, giving you additional stat bonuses. So gone are the days of the looter game. Everything is going to be unique and a lot less plentiful. You'll need to keep your eyes open to find that loot. Remember, the yellow dots on the map are most likely loot icons. In Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you're actually going to be starting most of your missions from your very own settlement. This is something new that they're adding, where it's like your home base, your home of operations, where you're actually going to be starting each of your missions, choosing what you want to do, as well as upgrading it, adding new buildings and different things that you can interact with in your settlement. So you're going to keep coming back to it mission after mission, where you can keep then improving your character and getting ready for the next one. There are lots of things to do here, so you get to actually build your own base in here. It can help you boost your stats or unlock abilities. Creating different buildings in here can actually unlock different abilities for you, things like fishing or raising chickens, which can then increase your health further on. You can actually recruit and customize your own crew members for on your boat that you take with you on raiding parties. You can customize your boat. You can change like the hull, the shields, the sail. You can do a whole bunch of different stuff like that. You can change the settlement's look with different decorations all around. This is where you can also change Eivor's look, so you can change their hairstyle, the amount of tattoos they have, even their hair color, which is going to be really cool. There's also going to be a few mini games that you can do. One of the big ones that we've heard about is actually like a dice game that you can play. It sounds almost like it's going to be kind of Gwent style, where it's going to have a lot of strategy and you may end up playing it a few times throughout the game, as well as I think at your settlement. So it sounds like it could be really cool. We'll have to see if it's actually really fun or if it's going to get boring after the first time or two kind of thing, but it's definitely something to look out for. Another thing that they're talking a lot about is how exploration is going to be so much more important in this game. While Odin's Sight is going to let you be able to easily find where things are close by to you, knowing that a piece of treasure is just on the other side of a wall may not actually be simple to figure out how to actually get to it. In some of the examples I've heard, they have different puzzles that you have to actually figure out how to get to the items that you want to get. Some of them could be as easy as going around the back, finding a hole in the wall that you can shoot an arrow through to break a lock. You can even go to complex things like going to a catacomb a little ways away, going underground, making your way back and finding a whole new way to get inside that building to actually get that treasure. And again, you're really going to want to get that treasure because if it's new items, you're not going to be able to find them anywhere else. Otherwise, it could be things like skill points and stuff that'll let you upgrade eivor even more. Exploration is something that I feel is something that's really big in these games. We've got a huge open world that we're going to be going through. You're going to want things to actually do in it, and it's incentives to make you want to go explore each building, figure out ways to get into every little thing, and keep looking in every nook and cranny just so you can find the best stuff that you can make your gameplay even better. We've talked about exploration, we've talked about combat, we've talked about the unique equipment, we've talked about side quests. The last things that I wanted to talk about were some of the really interesting things that are completely different in this game. We've already touched on how there's like a dice mini game. There are a whole bunch of other mini games throughout the rest of the game. Things like stacking stones, finding runes, chasing after little pieces of paper like in some of the old games to unlock new tattoos. There's even actually what they call flighting, which is like Viking rap battles where you're gonna go one-on-one, usually I guess make a bet with the person on who's gonna win, and you're gonna choose from like 3 dialogue options each time, kind of your responses to what this person is saying to you, and it just seems really comical. I don't know how good it's actually gonna be in the game, but it seems really funny, and again, it's something interesting to do. You can either play as male or female eivor in this game. Both are apparently going to be canon, so there's actually even an option where you can choose to let the animus decide for you. They've said if you choose this option, it's going to switch between male or female eivor throughout the game whenever it thinks the male or the female version is like the strongest match for that section of gameplay. So I'll probably do that just so you can get a taste of both of their acting styles and how it is. You can change anytime you want, so you could start playing as male and change to female or vice versa, and you can keep going back and forth whichever way you want. There's no penalty for that. But again, it's going to be interesting to see how they really explain it in the main game itself. Lastly, the thing that I'm probably most excited for is finding out more about the modern day story. Again, having played every single one, that's actually been one of the biggest draws for me. I've always loved the modern day component of it. Back when Desmond was the main modern day character and he had an amazing story arc. They have confirmed that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is going to continue the modern day story with Layla like they have in the past couple games. She's at a pivotal point after the last game without going into spoilers. And we're really wondering if she's going to bring the balance between the Assassins and the Templars, or if she's going to bring about the end of the world. While we don't know a lot, Darby McDevitt, one of the lead writers of Assassin's Creed, says that we will soon have reasons to like Layla, hinting that the modern day component will be bigger this time, and hopefully it's going to be more exciting than the previous couple games. So I can't wait to find out exactly how they're going to spin this and what's going to happen. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you liked the video. Let me know what you're excited for most in Assassin's Creed Valhalla in the comments down below. And if you have other games that you're excited about, let me know and maybe I'll feature them in a future upcoming Take My Money Monday video. While there are a ton more things that I am excited about for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I don't want to rattle on for too long. So keep your eyes out for any future videos on Assassin's Creed Valhalla because I'll definitely be covering it on the channel. Please hit that like button and subscribe as it really helps the channel out. Thank you again, and as always, happy gaming.